Quant mindset, real payouts, meet Ryan.
Yeah, so my name is Ryan Susian and I'm a trader from Kenya. I feel like it's better that you lose a lot of money at first.
Today we're joined by Ryan, originally from Kenya, now a finance student at the University of Reading, who's just secured 2 payouts with Alpha Capital Group while studying full time.
And I've been trading for 5 years now and I'm starting to see the results slowly, especially trading with Alpha Capital Group, getting my first 2 payouts.
Ryan's journey started like many do, wins, wipeouts and a long learning curve. But the breakthrough came when he started treating trading like a business.
What makes me tick is that I really understand the plan. Set out so much effort day and night to understanding what makes my strategy tick.
Building and testing rules, journaling and focusing on consistency. Now he's scaling from a 25k prop account towards much bigger accounts, using discipline and a data-first approach to keep stacking results. If you're balancing uni and trading, this story is your playbook. Let's dive into it. Hi, it's Pep here with another Alpha Capital Group traders interview. Today on the line we have Ryan, and he's recently had 2 successful payouts with Alpha. So today we're going to be walking through his trading psychology, how he approaches the market, and ultimately how he got into trading and how he's looking to make it in this game while he's studying at uni. It's also Ryan's birthday today. Yes, happy birthday, Ryan, to start off with. Appreciate you joining this call. Yeah, especially on your birthday. But yeah, we'll get this out of the way with so you can celebrate the rest of your day. Appreciate being here, Ryan. So, just to start off, do you want to just give us a bit of background about yourself, your name, age, location?
Yeah, so my name is Ryan Susian and I'm a trader from Kenya. Currently a university student at University of Reading. And I've been trading for 5 years now. And funny enough, the most growth I've seen of late is just a year back. So the year back, I really dove in and put in 100% effort. And I'm starting to see the results slowly, especially trading with Alpha Capital Group, getting my first 2 payouts. So my background is I'm a finance student, so I use quantitative techniques to arrive at different trading strategies. That's really helped. It's really changed how I started off my trading journey, because I never used to take any real techniques of how to test and find profitable strategies. And in terms of trading psychology, I've later come to realize that I was falling into this trap where most traders would be blaming their own psychology, compensating for not having an edge in the first place. And that was me. And I feel like that's happening a lot nowadays. So a good thing I took up finance at uni, because learning about quantitative techniques, how to test strategies. I'm also good at programming. Obviously, anyone right now in this day and age can use ChatGPT to learn these things as much as I've done, and also use it to program different strategies that you can test and therefore trade and find profitability. So that's been my journey so far.
Okay, perfect. So what actually drew you to trading initially?
Well, from living in Kenya, I mean, I didn't have much interest in trading until I met a few people in Kenya that were actually traders. But obviously later came to realize they were just scammers and they weren't real traders. So I mean, that initial interest was, hey, you can make money online and you not need to have to work a job, really. It was what got me the first place. I mean, I started in COVID as well, so I had a lot of free time to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just interesting. I found interest in technical analysis, different techniques in studying the markets. Obviously, I started looking into stocks, later went into currencies and also indices as well. So that's where it started off.
And how did your trading journey begin? Was it self-taught, or did you have a mentor at the time?
I actually have had no mentor whatsoever. I've just been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, really, just self-taught. Obviously, we watched ICT. I feel like everyone has watched ICT
Yeah,
nowadays.
definitely.
So, I mean, I've watched a lot of ICT content and different stuff, incorporated some of the ideas into my own trading strategy. But what really ticked for me was when I learned about quantitative finance.
Okay. And then in regards to your early trading experiences and failures, what did that look like at the start? How did you overcome those failures? What did they look like?
Yeah, I lost a lot of money. I think I've lost up to $10,000 when I started. But also made well. I first made 10,000 from $500. I was completely gambling, NFPing these days every month, either buy or sell, and got lucky. Well, lucky enough to make 10,000, but lost it all so quick. And wow, when I went down to my last $500, that's when I decided to invest in prop firms
Mm-hmm.
and started with a few prop firms outside from Alpha Capital Group and didn't find success yet. And that was 3 years back. So now in this last year is when I found out about how to actually succeed in trading through quantitative finance, at least.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know that catches a lot of people out when you have an early, an initial bit of luck at the beginning. You get overconfident, and then you just think you can make that all day, every day, and then like you've experienced, reality hits pretty quickly.
Honestly, I feel like it's better that you lose a lot of money at first than to make a lot of money and then go on to lose it later. Because it just trains you to be aware that anything that comes easy can go even easier.
Mm-hmm. And then your current timeline with prop firms. Have you been trading with prop firms for how long? Have you been trading with prop firms?
Well, I started off quite some time back, 3 years back. I've been trading with a lot of prop firms, trying to pass challenges, haven't found success there. But yeah, it's been 3 years and a lot of strategy is changing and a lot of learning that took place. Failures here and there, but I've kept resilient and so far so good.
Perfect. So yeah, let's just break down your strategy. Just take a look at that. So in regards to instruments, what do you trade?
Well, I trade pretty much everything, really. Everything that moves. It's all about regimes for me. So it depends on what current market regime we're in. And funny enough, as simple as it is, I trade moving averages, but in a very particular way. I wouldn't want to expose too much, but I mostly trade crossovers. So fast moving average and slow moving average crossovers. And I look for trending markets. That's predominantly found through my own fundamental analysis and techniques I've found that are useful in identifying trending markets. So I trade gold, US 30, Euro USD, GBP USD, all sorts of asset classes, and S&P 500 as well. Yeah.
Okay. And what does a day in the life look like for you in regards to trading? Are you on the charts multiple times a day, or are you a swing trader, scalper, day trader?
I'm actually a scalper, so I like to trade 5 minute interval, 5 minute chart, moving averages. So really what I've spent a lot more time that I think most people haven't actually is in backtesting. Like even till today, after I'm off the charts during New York session, post New York session, I mean, post 4 p.m. around because I'm in the UK right now. So after 4 p.m., I'm getting into backtesting, in which I program some my own tests, and it's been useful because I'm able to continuously regurgitate and remind myself, oh yeah, I have a good strategy that's profitable, and it's also good for my psychology. Yeah, so a lot of my routine is just trading, morning hour London, um, New York session as well. And then later during the day, working on back tests, if it's programming, if it's refining, optimizing, and the like.
Okay. And how do you combine fundamental analysis and technical analysis? Are the two tied together with your strategy?
Yes, exactly. Very heavily. I mean, I would say that I understand a lot of fundamentals, but really I don't. Because a lot of things, it has a lot of moving mechanisms, and I'm still learning how to improve on that. And I'm sure as I learn, the payouts will keep on coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mostly incorporate reading a lot of economic news and economic news results, and looking at different platforms like Bloomberg, which I paid for recently, and also different things that could drive the economy. Right now, I would say would be Fed cutting the rates, really. That's driving most of the markets as we speak. But I mean, it's just adapting as time goes, and also using what most people have to their advantage right now that's so unique to everyone, which is ChatGPT or different LLMs you can use out there. You can just figure out how can I understand fundamentals from a different perspective, and that can drive my own trading strategy. I feel like it's so important. It drives every market that moves, and that's what I've been using so far, and I'm still improving on as we go.
Okay. And in regards to risk management, how do you manage that with prop firms in regards to challenges and your current live account?
Yeah, with prop firms, particularly on challenge phase, I like to risk no more than 2.5% per trade. So if I pass the challenge and get funded, the most I'd risk on funded is 2% really per trade. And I like to keep the risk fixed per day, per trade I take. So it just keeps me in check and makes sure that I'm staying within my guardrails.
Mm-hmm. And so you've got a fixed percentage in regards to risk. In regards to your stop loss, is that a fixed set point away from your entry, or is it based on market structure?
It's predominantly based on market structure and other signals like ATR, average true range. So I use that. I incorporate that into where I put my stop loss. Exactly.
And then in regards to entry and exit strategies, is that based on fundamentals and technicals as well?
Yes, exactly. For my strategy, they both cross over. So the technical side is really the signal, but the fundamental driver long term is what I base the whole overall idea on.
And then do you have a set amount of trades you place per week, or is it based on what the market presents you? Because I know some people, if they take one loss in a day, they'll just won't trade for the rest of the day, or do you just continue to trade any opportunities that present themselves in front of you?
I mean, really, it's a combination of both. I pretty much trade um 15 days in a given month. So 15 trading out of the 20 trading days in a month, I trade 15 of those. And it just depends on what current market regime again we're in. So if I can identify good trending markets based on fundamental signals and that align with the technical signals as well, that's when I push the button off. And I trade different currencies as well. So I have a plethora of trades to take. And based on my testing, it actually works in my favor, funny enough, the more trades I take, which is something I found weird in my own testing, but it is what it is.
And how do you backtest? Are you using TradingView, or do you use a specific software?
Yeah, so my backtesting is done on Python. So I use Python to backtest different markets. And I use a certain step that I feel like is the biggest thing I've learned about trading is there's one enemy of all strategies that everyone can try to focus on sticking to the strategy, but it's actually not a good strategy. And I found it to be overfitting. Like a lot of strategies are overfit to past data, and you need to fight this by robustness testing. And I've developed a framework, obviously, from what I've learned from YouTube and different places, and from my own finance course, is that there are different techniques you can use to avoid overfitting. It's not just about making the most money in the world; it's also about trying to be robust in your strategy. So I use Python to test how robust my strategy is. Also, I'm thinking how much am I making above S&P 500 returns? That's also incorporated into, or what edge I have against it. Like basically, how less volatile am I if I'm making the same returns as S&P? Is my strategy less volatile. That's edge for me. Different things I look at. So it's mostly on Python, funny enough.
So I guess that's fairly automated. How much do you trust, the data that spits out, and then, how does that compare when you actually literally pushing the button in regards to placing the trade?
It's definitely informed my trading at a different level. I mean, before I was like everyone, I was manual trading. Manual backtesting.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at trading view going back. Trading view is actually the worst place to manual backtest, firstly. But I was using MT5 or trading view or different platforms to backtest FX replay as well. But that completely changed after taking my degree, and that's helped me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is because you realize actually what the world of finance is typically the same thing. It just has a lot of jargon. And if you look at the best, like Jim Simmons, he always talks about use manual backtesting being dead, and that if you're not programming your own backtesting process, then you're missing out. And I'm a big advocate for that reading. So that's where that came in for me. I trust it because industry experts also use it mostly.
Okay, makes sense. And then, yeah, just before we hit record today. Sorry, you mentioned you've had 2 payouts with ACG. 2 $300 payouts, which, yeah, I think anyone who makes a payout, it's an incredible milestone, and especially like yourself, you're only 21 years old at university, so that that's already a considerable amount of money for yourself. Moving forwards, do you have any goals around how many payouts you're looking to make or amount of payouts?
Yeah, definitely moving forward, I'm looking to up the account because the $600 payout is from the 25K. So obviously I'm gonna move to 50s, then 100s, then 200s, obviously. So that's a plan. But as things go, I feel like I've been consistent on 25s. I've been trading 25s for a whole year and got consistent payouts. So it's just a matter of scaling up for me.
Yeah, and I guess you're looking to reinvest any payouts you make into new challenges.
Yes, exactly. In fact, the thing is, I'm also working a side job. So really, the income that's coming from trading is all being reinvested for me, at least right now at this stage, because I'm looking to scale up and I'm trusting the process that I can get more and more accounts going.
Yeah, and the amount of effort you're putting in regards to back testing, having your edge in the market, I guess, you being a numbers man, I guess it's just a matter of time. If you have that edge, it's going to be fairly easy for you to scale up. You just got to think more long term.
Yeah, exactly. It's really a whole long term game.
And then in regards to drawdowns, what's your approach? Have you had any large drawdowns, and what's your approach to getting yourself out of one?
I've had large drawdowns. I'm currently in drawdown right now in my 24K account with Alpha Capital. But really, for me, what makes me tick is that I really understand the plan. So I've set out so much effort day and night to understanding what makes my strategy tick, what regimes I'll lose out on, and what regimes I'll win in. So for me, it's a bigger picture. And if I lose a challenge, I know I'm going to buy another challenge. So I have a whole plan around this. And in terms of dealing with losses, I find solace in understanding my own strategy and journaling, obviously, what I've done right and wrong. And as long as I've stuck to my strategy, I'm willing to stick it out throughout the whole process.
And then how do you tackle multiple accounts? Do you manually trade them individually, or do you have any tools to place trades on multiple accounts?
Yeah, I manually trade each account individually, mostly because I feel like for risk, it's better for me to lose an account slowly, one by one, so that I have one account that I can get a payout in, and another one, if I lose, I lose, but I still have that other account. So you can kind of separate the risk, segregate the risk into different accounts. I feel like that's a very smart approach, and it really helps with me, my psychology as well, is that being able to keep the accounts long term.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, moving on to psychology, I mean, do you ever feel pressure to make payouts or to, what do you add any pressure to yourself?
It's really tough, really tough. I mean, I feel like as a trader, you have to have a different mindset. You have to really keep your thoughts in check. Sometimes you feel like you're too greedy, or you're too conservative as well. You can be both. Well, it depends on your strategy, but really, um, you can't bring emotions into the deal. You have to treat it professionally. And so I've learned from a lot of people in the finance industry is that you have to have a whole plan around what you're going to do and have your own routine and mind in check. So I'm a big advocate for psychology and read a lot of books really on how to deal with such issues. But
And
so
what's your mental approach to losses? Do you have a specific process or things you do when you experience a loss?
yeah, I mean, for me, what's really helped is just sticking to the same routine, win or loss. I mean, if I take a good win, big chunky payout, for example, I'm still doing the same thing in the day. I'm waking up early, doing my routine, going to the gym, keeping active, you know. But for me, it's just about routine, keeping to the same routine, regardless of the position you're in. That keeps your emotions consistent. You could picture it like this: if I overreacted to a situation, it would probably leak into my trading.
Hmm.
Because if I'm thinking, hey, I lost so much money and I changed what I do in the day, it really does affect and emphasize how much it overshoots what you feel, for example. What I'm trying to say is basically if you're not sticking to one routine and any given day comes and disrupts that, you really can't survive. And I found just consistency, brother.
Okay. And how has trading impacted your personal life? Has it made you a better person, or is it, yeah, how's it changed you as a person?
Well, it's changed me a lot. I mean, I don't even know how I've just matured so fast. I'm in university right now, and everyone is doing different things, going out clubbing and doing all sorts. But I feel like because I started trading so early, I just loved it so much and wanted to succeed in it. It's just that hunger to just strive for success is just what gets me, and it's changed my whole mindset. And I really appreciate my trading for that.
Yeah, yeah. What advice would you give to new traders or anybody trying to succeed with prop firms? What advice would you give them around, managing, stress in regards to trading?
I'd say take it slow, think it through, think big picture rather than small picture. If you're being greedy, you probably know you're being greedy, actually. It's a fallacy to think that you don't know your own emotions. You kind of do. You're just lying to yourself. So I'd say be honest to yourself, think long term, and honestly, I'd say look into quantitative finance, look into programming, look into studying what people in finance are doing that you can incorporate into your own trading. That's what I'd really say.
Yeah. What do you think some the biggest mistakes you made at the beginning and how you overcame them?
I mean, my biggest mistake was strategy hopping. I've traded every strategy under the
Yeah.
sun, really. I've traded everything: RSI, Bollinger Bands, Wyckoff theory, everything. I used to have a whole massive book of all these strategies, and strategy hopping is a big issue. But what has helped with that is just being ruthless. Don't Sometimes people are attached to a strategy emotionally, but they're not attached to a strategy based on the statistics of the strategy. So it's like I think the best way to overcome this is just to learn how to test strategies, the whole process, how it goes down, how to find a profitable strategy, when to ditch it, and when to continue with it, and when it's useful for your own trading.
And Do you have any recommendations for people out there, that are looking to tackle prop firms? I know you've probably touched on it a bit earlier in regards to scaling and having an edge, but is there any other advice you can give to people?
Yeah, I'd definitely say, I mean, the thing I've learned about prop firms is it's kind of a different game. I mean, you kind of have to have, well, at least in my opinion, I prefer to have a high win rate in the strategy I trade because it keeps me consistent and it cuts out the time it takes to actually pass the challenge. So I really prefer to have a high win rate when I'm trading prop firms because one, you can get payouts more consistently than waiting so long. There's some strategies that you really have to be a robot to trade them, like those 10% win rates, 1 to 50R. I mean, I don't know how anyone does that, but really, for me, it's just I know I'm human. I need a good strategy I can stick to long term.
And then any other key advice for aspiring traders like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, just have energy. You just have to love it and stick to it long enough. And if you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I quit," well, if you're gonna quit, just take a different approach. Maybe don't go too much in thinking, "Oh yeah, my whole day is centered around trading." Maybe think, "Okay, how can I just portion 1 hour of my day and think, hey, I'll spend 1 hour to learn everything I can about how to backtest a strategy or how to trade prop firms, the different rules." Yeah, even 1 hour a day can build so much. So
And then what are your goals over? Well, I guess we're starting to come towards the end of 2025. Do you have any goals that you want to hit next year or by the end of this year?
yeah, I mean, my main goal right now is to get a 50K Alpha Capital account immediately because I know I can really pass that challenge
Mhm.
ASAP and get payouts with that. It's just a matter of scaling up.
Yeah, I guess that'll help you out quite a bit at uni. Then having those larger payouts with the bigger account.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's just proof of concept because if you know it works with the small accounts, surely it works with the bigger accounts.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it from me, Ryan. Yeah, no, I really appreciate your time and joining us today. Yeah, some really good insights. And yeah, somebody with your background at uni, yeah, I'm sure is going to do well in this space. So yeah, honestly, all the best of luck in your trading career, and appreciate your time. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.